I struggled over the title for a long time. And the reason I made this sounding very pompous title, the years that changed India, right? One, of course, India changes all the time, dynamic situation. But the other years that change India implies something very big. One, something we've been wanting to do since the 50s, we crossed the nuclear threshold. We used to go to there and back out. 74, we went there, then called the explosion, peaceful nuclear explosion, right? Later, Narasimha Rao, Rajiv Gandhi actually started the process of weaponization, but privately, quietly, nobody knew. Narasimha Rao went to the edge of testing, did not go ahead, backed up. Vajpayee did that. You needed to test because your systems were old, your designs were in the computer. You needed validation of design. You had to test, knowing that the world would get very angry, but realizing that not testing meant compromising India's security. That's a very, very strong decision to take. Second, having tested it and having established that we were doing it for peace, not a peaceful explosion, but your nuclear program was to ensure peace in the neighborhood, and that was not directed at Pakistan, you opened up to Pakistan. The kind of opening Vajpayee did to Pakistan, nobody was prepared to do since, literally. He paid a big price for it, but I think the price showed that determination. I'll come back to that. The third was opening up to the USA. Our DNA since the Cold War was anti-US. Later on, post-Cold War, a grudging acceptance of the US, but comfortable was not there. Vajpayee's recognition that in the future, and this is 1998, in the future, India and USA must work together because ultimately there's a convergence of interest coming up. This was a moment where China was in US relations on a honeymoon, and yet he could see that ultimately China and the USA will diverge, and India and the USA will have convergence of interest. To call USA and India natural allies, that breaks 50 years of Indian thinking. Next 20 years also nobody has used that word again, right? We call them partners, we don't call them allies. He was prepared to say that. Remarkable mental thing. That's the third thing, really. Fourth, as part of that opening to Pakistan, to take the plunge and the Lahore thing, he staked his entire political reputation on that. I'll make peace with Pakistan, right? So one was the opening to Pakistan, to talk about my second point. But the fourth point was opening to Pakistan in what sense? I will go there, bus services will start, I'll personally go there. I will directly appeal to the people of Pakistan. Obviously, very strong. Indian domestic politics did not like it. So the day he came back from Lahore, instead of celebrating it, the Congress party withdrew its support to the government on the implementation of Article 356 in Bihar after a terrible massacre of Dalits. Bihar was president's rule. And with that news, newspapers dropped Vajpayee's Lahore, and the argument was all about Bihar and Dalits and Congress backing up. So domestically, he was unpopular because of that. More importantly, at least the fifth point, the Pakistani establishment's fear of opening to India meant that we got the Kargil War put on us. And the way he handled the Kargil War, yes, you're free to act. Yes, we'll put in all resources, but two, we will not cross the line of control. A lot of people criticize him for that. Why not cross the line of control? One, we had to demonstrate that we are a responsible nuclear weapon state. Just because of a nuclear bomb, I don't become adventurous and start threatening my neighbors with war, which is what Pakistan was doing. So you had to break the link with Pakistan and India as two equal countries having the same kind of attitude. No, we are responsible. Not crossing the LOC ultimately meant that the world rallied behind India, put pressure on Pakistan. Pakistan was forced to withdraw, and the war came to an end 3-4 months before it would have come to an end. If the war continued for 3 months more, can you imagine the loss of more Indian lives? So while he was attacked for not crossing the LOC, engaging our troops, the reality was it actually ended the war 3 months before it did, saving human lives. So he managed to break this link of India-Pakistan, the dehyphenation process, and the world recognizing India to be a responsible nuclear weapon state. That changed the perception of India in the world completely. In retrospect, we can see that that was the inflection point where suddenly people saw India differently. Otherwise, it was two squabbling South Asian states always fighting with each other over something called Kashmir, and so it had The world arguments for Kashmir and India, Pakistan was brought to Kashmir, and that was it in a very petty manner. Vajpayee broke that, which is why he not only changed India, he changed the way the world looked at India. And that, I think, is, in retrospect, 2 decades down the line, extremely important. That is why I thought, by calling the book The Years That Changed India, it really did. You are too young to remember, others would not. India of the 90s and India of today. I mean, India of the 90s was closer to India of 47 than it is to today. Can you imagine? So 20 years, we've had more change than 50 years before that. Those years changed India.
Please remember to subscribe to us and switch on the notifications for this channel. For our other social media links, more content, and to support our work, please visit citti.net. Dhanyavad. Namaskar.